Hi everyone, Maurice here. Welcome to Things Invest, where we're going to be talking about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's videos, for entertainment purposes only, the investments we're going to talk about today would be Ethereum, ticker ETH. As you know, across the board for a lot of cryptocurrencies, it's been experiencing a lot of the sell-off lately, mainly driven by obviously Bitcoin, but also secondarily Ethereum as well, which has been down about 11.5% just this week so far. And as of today, it's been down about 10%, or 9.85% to be more specific, as of May 16th on a Sunday today. So I'm gonna go through a technical analysis where I see the Ethereum price to be going from here. Both on the psychological perspective, look at the quantitative charts, but also on a more of a macroeconomical perspective, right? Where I see the price going from here. I'm gonna also identify a couple of resistance levels that we should be watching out for in case you don't want to buy in, or in case you're interested in looking into what the levels that you should be watching out for, and also my price target for year-end 2021 as well. So stay tuned, stick around, and let's make some money. Alright, so moving on to the technical analysis for Ethereum. You can see that ever since last year, around like the Christmas time, we were trading around like the $600 level, and ever since then we rally up because of the new adoptions and more utilization, more positive media coverage with respect to the Coinbase IPO, some publications that came out from ARK Invest, and also with respect to like Square, PayPal, and a lot of like financial institutions, even Mass Mutual, have decided to put some of these Ethereum and Bitcoin into their balance sheets, right? Which subsequently drove these rally all the way up, right? And also on top of that, Elon Musk has announced that he decided to buy $1.5 billion into Bitcoin, which has some also a correlation drag effect into the price of Ethereum as well. So ever since that $600 level, we roll all the way up. It's kind of more of a consolidated sideways trend up level, like a kind of an escalator curve type of way, that we've been trending, accordingly, into a good level of upslope that we've been forming, right? And ever since then, by April 25th, it pumped up because of a lot of the positive media affectations with respect to a lot of the new adoptions for NFT, with respect to the Coinbase IPO that came out, with respect to just Ethereum being a cheaper alternative version to Bitcoin, which you saw like how Bitcoin has been rallying up, that a lot of people decide to adopt based on some of the media pump that we've been seeing, a lot of media affectation play that we've been observing so far. That subsequently drove Ethereum all the way up to the 4,383 from the bottom of like the the $2,000 level, which is more of like a 1x 2x type of return from there. And this was really mainly driven by media affectations and media manipulations. Nothing really majorly driven by anything specifically about like new development with respect to the utilization or anything that is really new based on what we've seen so far, right? This is still a relatively new adoption play that we're seeing, and for this to grow this significantly fast, it was a little bit unorthodox, and to be honest, it's a little bit obviously unheard of, right? Knowing the fact this is a new technology and the adoption, it takes time to grow globally. Especially this is something that's going to transform the financial system for the better going forward. And right now, you could see that based on the trend line, the yellow line that we're forming right now, this is basically forming an outlier, right? This is like kind of pushing upward, but there has no tested a resistance level that has been formed historically. Is kind of inorganically pumped up so far. Mainly driven by a lot of the adoptions on the Coinbase IPO, and people learning more about Coinbase, and also the utilization of Ethereum as the second best cryptocurrencies, which subsequently drove this up to this level. But right now we've been selling off, right? And this is a pretty worrisome chart that you can see right here, right? There is really no resistance level that we formed prior, right? Beside this level right here, which is the $30,400 level, which right now we're testing at the moment, right? But it seems like based on what I see right here, we are close to being breaching that right now. And right now, as of today, we're down 11% just today so far. That you see that we are currently crossing. So the next level is gonna be a free fall. We're not gonna be testing anytime soon here because we have never formed any resistance level. It's just been green, green, green all the way. That right now the MACD is crossed downward, so we're gonna see more selling despite the RSI being so oversold at the moment. But because of the fact that whatever goes up really fast comes down really fast as well. So in the next couple of days or weeks so far, we're gonna see more sell off for Ethereum going forward. And it's just a normal thing, for it to happen. Whatever goes up this fast is most of the time done inorganically. This was not something that naturally occur. No businesses, no commodity can ever be pumped up as fast as it did. Right? We basically pumped up from basically the end of April to mid May so far. Right? And this was basically within 30 days of a pump. Right? Basically doubling your money in 30 days. It's just not most logical in any sense, right? So right now what I see going forward is that we're gonna test a little bit, maybe form some resistance here, which we are kind of forming some resistance level. We kind of not kind of hesitating on pushing down even further. But if we break that, which I see the likelihood of like more like 730 at the moment, I actually see this going back down all the way to this level right here, somewhere around like the $2,500 level, or even further, like the 20 or like the $2,100 level, right? Just to basically retest this again. But based on the trend line, I think we actually gonna test this first, somewhere around again, right, like the $2,500 level, which somewhere around like the flat number, like the 25 or like the quarter number, and then we're gonna bounce back up, right? Because this was so overdue. And this was so stretched out again, right? The outlier is significant that it just needs to be done, right? So just to recap again, right? The first resistance level we're currently at right now, and I think we're breaching that as we speak at the moment. And the next level is going to be a free fall all the way down by, another 30-40% downwards to the $2,500 level, and then we're going to bounce back up, right? So I wouldn't advise buying it now, to be honest with you, because Ethereum has so stretched out, and I've been like actually waiting to buy in more, but this is so long overdue, and I'm happy that it's actually going down because long term wise, I actually see Ethereum to be massively adopted, and there's a possibility that Ethereum can even hit 5 digits, close to about like $9,500 per share or $10,000 per share by year end 2021 as well, which is highly possible based on how it's trending so far. But for this to correct, it needs to happen for it to further sustain the growth going forward. No stocks and no any price point ever go up all the way infinitely like a rocket. Even a rocket comes down to earth sometimes. So this needs to come down, and this has been just so long overdue, and this is like a perfect breather for Ethereum to take a breather. And when it goes down to the $2,500 level, that's the perfect sweet spot for you to buy back in again. All right, so just to recap on all the numbers that we talked about today, I think with respect to Ethereum, I think $2,600 level will be a fair price, knowing the fact that I think Ethereum right now is in a free fall mode. We have never tested anything prior to that ever since that $4,400 level of peak, and we've been selling off ever since because we've just been on a rocket ship going up and away, right? Being pumped by institutional investors and also retail investors from Coinbase and other, finance institutions. That $2,600 level would be the first resistance level that we will need to retest before it bounce back up again. And if we further oversell, which I don't foresee that to be the case, I think the next psychological resistance level will be the $2,000 level, which makes sense because just flat numbers typically make sense for consumer investors, and also because of the fact that we are currently at the $4,000 level, that to get down to the $2,000 level, people psychologically think like, oh, we're down basically half right now, so buying it on the 50% off, that sounds like a pretty good deal. So that could be another psychological resistance level, and based on historical charts, that was the resistance level that formed as well. We've been consolidated at that level, like the 1960, 1970 level, and somewhere around like the 2000 level before we rally all the way up by double. And that happened only on April 25th. So the 2000 level, that's a fair price. If we break that, the next level would be like another consolidated level would be the 1850, which we tested for quite some time, for I believe like 2-3 weeks before we pumped up to the above the $2,000 level. I actually bought in some at this level a while back. So if we get down to the level again, I'll actually load up again. Which I actually hope so. If I hope that we get back to like the $1,000 level, right? Because that will be just a dream come true. If you believe in this in a long term perspective, right? I believe that in 12 months from now or 24 months from now, Ethereum could get somewhere around like the fifth digits, right? Like somewhere around like the $10,000, which I wouldn't be surprised. I think we'll go to like the 9,500, and then dip down and then bounce and then pump up to the $10,000 level, which is just like a strong psychological resistance level, right? Hitting fifth digits, for Ethereum could be just a monumental change moment, for the cryptocurrencies market, right? But for year end 2021, which is still like 7 months out or a little bit less than that, I think $5,000 level wouldn't be not logical. I think that's pretty fair. Knowing the fact that we tested 4,400 already, but now we're selling off. It'll take some time for us to get back there, right? It falls down really fast, but for it to go back up, it's gonna take like double amount of time for us to get there, right? So how long did it take us to get to like the 4,000 from 2,000, right? It took us what, like 2-3 weeks, or not even like maybe like a month. So for us to take maybe 2-3 months for us to get back there by summertime or somewhere around like the fall time period of $5,000, I think I'm being conservative. To be honest with you, I think we could get closer to the $10,000 mark, like I said to you, right? Which I believe a lot of institutions have actually projected that number. That if we get above $5,000, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna be conservative from here, right? But ultimately, we're all about the gains. We're all about the profits. And if we're buying at the $2,600 level, right, and we're able to sustain the ride, the turbulence going forward, that could generate a close to 100% gains from here, or like close to 2 times your money, which is a fair gain, to be honest with you. And again, being conservative here, not being overly aggressive. All right, really appreciate you guys dropping by again to listen in on the Ethereum technical analysis today. Please kindly subscribe, hit the like button, and also that bell notification button below. Really appreciate you for listening in and showing the support. It really means a lot to me. Please stay tuned for the next video. Thanks.